Hey everyone, welcome to Shed Show Talk. I'm Paul, and it's time for our roundup of the latest UFO news from around the globe. Our first sighting takes us to Colfax in Washington, and this was a UFO that was sighted above a wind farm. Really interesting footage here. You can see in the video this unidentified flying object flying around the vision of the camera. And what's interesting about this is that the guy that reported this said he couldn't see it with the eye, but he could see it through the camera lens. Let's roll the video. Alright, so what on earth is that flying above this wind farm here in Washington? Now, this isn't the first time these objects have been spotted. In fact, right here is a news report from the Telegraph in the UK where it's claimed that a wind farm was damaged by an unidentified flying object. And this was actually investigated by the Ministry of Defence over in the UK, and Nick Pope investigated into this crazy thing, this wind farm that was apparently flown into, and there was other turbines in this wind farm that were broken down after this incident, and people had reported that there was a UFO floating above this wind farm in the United Kingdom. That happened in 2009, and the wind farm had only been active from 2008. So again here, yesterday we have this object flying above a wind turbine. I can't imagine why a UFO or UFOs, I guess plural with the incidents that we're seeing around the world, would be interested in a wind farm. But they are. I mean, could this be, some kind of time traveling from our future, checking out, past forms of power that we use? Maybe in the future we unlock the universal power, and this is us visiting ourselves from the future. Who knows? But one thing's for sure, that this object could only be seen in the camera. It had some kind of camouflage that the naked eye couldn't see it. What do you guys think this could be? Because I have no idea. I just can't imagine that aliens would have traveled, billions or millions of light years to come and float around one of our wind farms. Our next sighting takes us to Denton in Texas, and this has been a sighting that started a little over a month ago on February 27th. And since then, after this was pointed out to our reportee here, since then, he's seen it several times, and it appears to be a triangular craft. And you can actually see the substance of this ship. So you can see that these lights are attached to a ship. We're going to roll the video here shortly, but you can see these lights are attached to this ship, and he's noticed it a lot. So if you live in Denton in the United States and you've seen an anomaly in the sky, then we want you to be ready to record this. This is an ongoing sighting that's happening in Denton in Texas, and he's seen it while waiting for an Uber. He's seen it when he's been out and about around the city, and I'm going to go ahead, roll the video here. There's 3 videos with it. I want to play each one of these videos that he's taken. Here's the first one. Wow, there we go. You can actually see that this thing's a ship right there. Like it's actually flying and flashing through the sky. Really incredible. Here's the second video that he sent in here. And then the last video right here. Each one of these videos are just slightly different. The ship apparently seems to morph into different shapes, and it really is stalking the skies of Denton in Texas. Have you seen this? Do you live in Texas? Do you live near Texas? If you do, I mean, there's a lot of people here in this city. It's the 12th largest city in Dallas Fort Worth. So if you live here, 123,000 people do, and even more in the area, travel out here. It looks like it's a hotspot. There's lots of sightings. Let's play this one video here again for you, which really shows the craft in the sky. I mean, look at that, and it's got flashing lights attached to it. Almost is masquerading as an aircraft, and it changes and it morphs. And this sighting is an ongoing sighting in Denton, in Texas. UFO hunters, make your way out there, take your recording equipment with you, and let's see if we can get any really close-up footage of what these mysterious lights are in Texas. And again, we know that it's such a hotbed of activity out there right now in Texas, California, Florida, real hotspots in the US for unexplained aerial phenomena just going on around there. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think this is a great sighting. It's a good opportunity for anybody that's looking to spot a UFO. Make your way out there and check it out. Take recording equipment with you. Send it in to us here at Shed Show Talk. Okay, our next sighting takes us across the pond to my home country, Great Britain. And this sighting takes place in Hertfordshire, just north of London. And this gentleman was outside taking a smoke, wanted to show his mum some contrails in the sky, and they saw this object, this flying disc, typical UFO saucer-shaped disc floating in the sky. It got closer and closer and closer, and he began to record the video. It was silent. There was no noise being made from this object whatsoever. And actually, as he's recording it, it just disappears. Let's take a look at the video.
What is it? It's a small helicopter. What is it? Bleeding UFO, looks round.
All right, there it is. This UFO object in the sky. You can actually hear his mum saying in the background, "What is it?" It's a UFO. It's round. Just describing what they saw there. Really great footage of this UFO right here in Hertfordshire, just north of London. Again, lots and lots of people live in this area. So if you saw anything like this, it's close to major cities, big transportation hub in this area. If you saw anything, let us know in the comments below. If you have any further footage or anything like that of this video, let us know here at shedshowtalk@gmail.com. Also, don't forget, if you're out and about, there's so many sightings right now. Be ready to record at any time. Okay, so breaking in UFO news, and I'll put a link to this below in the video, is that there is NASA footage that captured a UFO in space heading towards Earth. And there's a diagram here of this object coming in towards Earth, and it looks like something fired at it, and then it moved away. So this is, I mean, a really strange occurrence here. This report was actually in Collective Evolution, and again, I'll put a link to it below. And actually, this comes from backing up claims of Brian O'Leary, who was a former astronaut for NASA. He was actually selected for the missions to go to the moon before they were cancelled in the Apollo program. And ultimately, Brian said that we were being contacted by aliens. There was an abundance of evidence to this, and that civilizations have been visiting us for a very long time. This guy is actually down as a NASA whistleblower. Unfortunately, Brian did pass away in July 2011, but was a great advocate to the fact that we were being visited and the aliens have been in contact with man and have been observing us for such a long time. So what do you think to this object that was heading towards us, and it looks like we've warned it off, or something has warned it from our orbit in space, and it's disappeared? In fact, NASA have just been forced to talk out about claims on UFOs with regards to the International Space Station, where some strange flying objects were caught behind one of their astronauts in the space station as she was talking. You can see this object come across the screen and actually change directions. And this was reported on in the Express. So you can see here NASA forced to respond after footage of several UFOs behind astronaut on the ISS emerges. And the US Space Agency has, as it's reported here, been forced from its usually tight-lipped stance on alien visitations after this video shows the UFO passing behind the window of the ISS. This is in the Daily Express. It's a mainstream media outlet in the United Kingdom. And I guess that their response was that it was reflections from the station windows, and the spacecraft structure itself, or lights from Earth, commonly appear as artifacts in photos and videos orbiting the International Space Station. Which, you know, when you're actually looking at these objects, I'm not sure what reflections would change course, like what we've just seen in the video there. And I really think that what NASA needs to do is they need to come out and they need to say, okay, there is absolutely things that we can't explain flying around, rather than trying to cover it up all the time, because it really loses the credibility of NASA when they do stuff like that. I mean, you know, we talk about there are people that believe that we didn't land on the moon. Are you guys one of those that is listening to this right now? Do you believe that indeed we didn't land on the moon? Well, when you're seeing things change course in the window behind one of your astronauts and you're still trying to say that there's nothing out there, that it's a reflection, we just simply can't buy that. And then you listen to people making these arguments that we didn't land on the moon and NASA denying it. It really doesn't help the credibility in this situation. I believe we landed on the moon. That's my own opinion. You guys are entitled to whatever opinion you hold, but I definitely can't use NASA's credibility to argue the fact that we landed on the moon to you, because obviously we're not getting straight answers out of NASA. It's just simply not happening. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about today is our famous ufologist. He's a nuclear physicist. His name's Stanton Friedman. If you're familiar with ufology, then you're going to be familiar with this guy. Well, he's just come out in a statement and said that we are living amongst aliens, that they are here, and that they are biding their time before unleashing a full reveal. And Stanton actually goes on to talk about a truth embargo that world governments are collaborating to keep the existence of intelligent aliens that are here with us covered up. Friedman's now 82 years old, and he's been at the heart of some of ufology's most compelling evidence for many years. He actually uncovered a panel of government agents that were brought together called the Majestic 12. He has official documentation that these guys were brought together to deny the existence of alien life and of unidentified flying objects that we've seen in the skies all around the globe. And this channel really is evidence of that taking place. And if you've seen the 5%, which is a documentary that we put up just this week, earlier on this week, if you've seen the 5%, if you haven't, check it out. I'll put it in the links on our video below here. That actually has some of the most compelling UFO events where there's just overwhelming evidence to visitations of alien craft coming to our planet. And so I really can't see how this subject can be denied much longer. I do believe that the truth is already out there, but we are just waiting for mainly the American government to come out and say, yes, there are aliens amongst us. But what Stanton's actually saying is that these aliens are biding their time and they're gonna reveal themselves to us. And he believes that we're being quarantined here on Earth to prevent our evil ways from expanding into the galaxy. And I'm not too sure. I have a little bit more faith in the human race than what Stanton does, but I think that I think Stanton is maybe trying to make his mark here. I don't know. But if he knows something that we don't, Stanton, prove it to us. You're an intelligent guy. I've followed you for a long time. You absolutely have furthered my interest in ufology, and I thank you very much for that. But now we need to know. If you know that there's aliens, we need to know. We need to see your proof. We need to find out what's behind you saying to the world that aliens are here. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching us here at Shed Show Talk. We're really looking at the subject from the viewers, from submission reports from around the globe, and also what's going on in the mainstream media to help this subject along. Make sure on your way out you hit subscribe and check out some of our other videos that are on the channel here. I know that Beth's coming out with some paranormal news tomorrow, so you'll want to subscribe to make sure that you get that. She's taking on some mystics and some incredible events that have been going on around the world in that field. I mean, you've got to remember back in the day, you know, we all hear stories of Merlin, but you know, in the great wars of the early centuries, the kings and the lords all used to use mystics and paranormal investigator type people to get sway over the battlefield, to see what they needed to do to win. So check out Beth's video tomorrow. I'm excited to see it. I might have had a sneak preview. I'm sure you're going to love it. Thanks again for watching. We really appreciate it here at Shed Show Talk. We are a new channel, but we're reaching 1,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. I can't believe it. Thank you for that. Again, hit subscribe on your way out. Keep your eyes to the sky. Be ready to record at any time, because there's just so many sightings going on right now. Most of all, stay safe.